Hey, Tara here with you. It's so good to be here with you. It's a little late at night. I apologize for some of you all, but I have been really busy today with just taking the morning off, and I wanted to talk to you about that and just taking time to really relax and recoup and rejuvenate. It's been kind of a crazy week with class and things that are going on. There's a lot of really good things happening, and I don't want to spill all the secrets yet, or you'll have all the information. I want to keep some things just more of a curiosity tool for you at this point, but just know that I'll be updating you as I feel led. I'm really considering and contemplating some things and how I want to go about things, and sometimes change is a process. So I do have a few just small minor housekeeping things that I do want to just kind of share with you really fast. One is I wanted to give you an update about my VIP list. So my goal is to launch that on Monday. So if you're seeing my post and you're like, these look a little different, what is she up to? A lot of the things that she's posting, they look different. I want to be healthier too, or I want more time too, or I want to be with my kids more, I want to be with my partner more, or, just I want to live my life a little bit more. That and so much more. It's all going to be shared in my VIP list. So you'll want to opt in for video content, emails. I may even share some other things with you. I'm still trying to make a determination of how I want to go about a few things navigating that process. So stay tuned. You'll most likely see a video. There'll be a place for you to put your name, your email, and it'll give you a chance to go ahead and opt in. And at that point, I would encourage you to go ahead and opt in and get that information at that point. It's a good way to stay connected and stay in touch, and I'll have like tips and tools and strategies for, minimizing time, having more freedom, things like that. So you'll definitely want to stay plugged in. The other piece that I wanted to mention too is that I'm going to be getting a stand for my phone for the purposes of more meal prepping, demonstration, if there are things that I want to share with you in the kitchen, things of that nature. It's been a little challenging because at this point I've had to share information with you by just holding my phone. Believe it or not, I actually don't have a stand for it, but I did order one, so that should be here soon. So be looking for more interactive, not just my face as much, but you'll be able to see me engaging and doing more things. And I think that'll be helpful for some of you, especially they're like, Tara, how are you, meal planning and meal prepping, and why do you do that, and how does it cut your time in half, and how do you have more time with your family, and things of that nature. So it's like more in the realm of time freedom, but it just gives you ideas on meals, recipes, just tips for being an overall healthier version of you, right? So going into the content, I didn't want to take too long today, but I wanted to let you know where I was at with those updates. But one thing that I really did want to cover with you guys is my little secret about fulfillment. And here I was thinking earlier as I took my time off, what is an area that I could bring value to people with, that they're really kind of, some people are having a lot of success with, other people are just kind of floating along, some people are surviving, some people are barely surviving, and some people really are not surviving at all, and it's kind of a rat race. And the vision that I got was just people in this, like, it reminds me of like a hamster cage or a hamster ball, where like the hamster's trying to move, but it can only get so far. It's not going all the way, and it doesn't understand why, and it's perpetually trying to move forward, but it can't. It's blocked, it's hindered, it's stopped, or it's doing the same thing over and over and over again, but there's virtually no result. And how many of our lives are like that at times? Maybe we're just doing life to get by, we're just surviving, if that. Some of us, are Not even surviving that, we hate it, we begin to resent it, we want to be able to do something different, but how and what does that look like? And it just becomes really challenging and difficult. And for some, it can become a really helpless situation. However, there is always hope about this. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Here's the thing. If you are doing the same thing over and over and over again, I want to encourage you with one thing. Maybe it's time to go ahead and to make a change. And that could be a change in your relationship, a change in the workplace. That could be a change in the way that you structure your day. You know, if you're like, gosh, all I do is I stand here in the kitchen for 3 hours and I feel like I didn't accomplish much but a meal. Well, it could be the recipes that you're selecting. It could be just simply a skill set issue. It could be that maybe you need to prep your things a day in advance and then the next day actually cook them. It could just be that your time needs to be tweaked a little bit. So it could be 100 different things. But we won't know until we start going into some of that more, which is pretty much my goal, what I would like to do, one of the things that I would like to do. But the other area is if you see yourself just working to the tail, like you're working your bones off, you're exhausted, you're depleted, you're wiped out, that's a really good sign that you need to do the second thing. Aside from change, you need to take a step back. Well, Tara, I have so much on my plate. I don't want to step back. It's really challenging for me right now to be able to do that thing. And I don't know how to take that step back because if I get behind, then everything else gets behind, then everybody else gets behind, and I don't like that idea. Well, here's the thing. Then you're going to continue to struggle and not have the results that you're looking for. And if you know that you're tired and you're stuck and you're burnt out, why would you continue to put yourself in that same position? Nobody else is putting you in that position. You can pass the buck off and blame just about anybody else, but at the end of the day, you only have yourself to blame for that. That's not, you could make change, but you have to choose the change. Okay? And choosing that change means taking a step back and maybe reevaluating some priorities, reassessing your relationships. That's not a bad thing. We have to do that sometimes, okay? Because not only do we need other boundaries with other people, but we need boundaries for ourselves. I went through this the other night, okay? I was working on some stuff for my class, right? Perfect example. And a friend of mine, she wanted to talk. And at that point in time, it wasn't a good time for me to talk. She had rescheduled with me several times. She wanted to reschedule that night, and she wanted to talk right then and there. Well, I couldn't talk right then and there, okay? So I had to make my yes be yes and my no be no. So I encourage you to do that. Here's how you decide if it's yes, I'm going to do this now, and no, I'm not going to do this right now. If it's high on your, I should say it this way, if it's high on your priority list, then yeah, you should probably do it. Is it going to increase you? Is it going to bring you in some change, level of success, income? Is it going to enhance your quality of life somehow? If so, then maybe that's yes. Okay? But sometimes yes even is a timing thing. So you have to be considerate of what your schedule looks like. Look at your schedule. Can you really honor that relationship or that commitment? These are things that you need to ask yourself. Can you honestly ask yourself if you have enough space and time blocked off in your schedule to accomplish this? If the answer is yes, then great. It may be your next move. If you really, truly, in your heart of hearts, cannot honor that commitment, do not take it on. And do not be afraid. In fact, I give you permission. Tell the person that you just, gosh, you would love to, but you just simply can't right now. You don't have to be mean or nasty about it. Just be loving and encouraging about it and let them know that you love them and you care about them, but you can't take that thing on right now. And that's okay. Sometimes we have to say no. Sometimes in order to move forward, we have to say no. We cannot continue to do and expect a result. If we do, then we're just going to receive burnout. And burnout can create so many different health issues that are not necessary, when you could be preventative and optimize your health instead of, whatever, crushing it. Because it's not good. If you are burnt out and your batteries aren't recharged, you're not going to be really good to anybody else. And not only that, but your quality of thinking isn't going to be there. Your creativity isn't going to be there. When you're tired, you don't think clearly. You miss opportunities that might be right in front of your face. You don't want to miss out on those opportunities because you were burnt out and you couldn't see them right in front of you. And not only that, but it's not always about the next task that you need to do. It's not always about the next best thing. Sometimes it's about taking a step back and really enjoying your quality of life. You were meant to do more than just do. Sometimes it's just a matter of be. Okay? Sometimes it's good. Like this morning, I just had a really crazy week. And it was do. Finally, even I had to take a step back and said, you know what? I looked at my calendar and whatever was there, I said, no more. I'm just going to block it off. And I did. I blocked it off. And you know what I did? Instead of doing the 20 things in front of me that I could have done, I just made that decision that I was going to take my morning and I was just going to go ahead and rest. I wasn't going to have an agenda. I was going to cancel all the things that I had on my list that I needed to get done. And I was going to sleep for a few hours. I really needed to rest. I really needed to get that rejuvenation back. I really needed to take care of myself. Yeah, but that's selfish. I don't really want to do that when I need to help other people. Well, guess what? You can't really help other people until you first take care of and help yourself. And I know this video is meant to speak to somebody. I really feel it because I feel pretty passionate about what I'm sharing so far with you, right? I think we can agree to that. And so, sometimes the best care that you could give anybody is taking care of yourself. Okay? And that doesn't mean being excessive about it, but everything in moderation or everything in balance. It's not just all about work or all about play either. It's about setting goals. Okay? It's about being committed to your schedule. But it's also about knowing when you need to take a step back, and rather than trying to reach all the goals and accomplish all the things, take the step back to see what needs the tweak, what needs to be reevaluated, how you could propel forward. Do you need more creative juices? Do you need more creativity? Do you need ideas and things like that? Well, if you're burnt out, you can't think clearly as to what the next idea would be or the next creative strategy is. And you want the creative ideas and the strategies. That's what does end up propelling you forward. You want connections, you want quality, but you don't attract those things when you are burnt out and you're not rested and you're not your best. Because when you rest, you're more productive, you think more clearly, you become more creative, you have new ideas, you're able to be more of an asset. And the whole idea behind relationship is that you want to bring value to people. You want to have something that you can give them. And you can't give the value because you're not able to give your best if you're not taking the time back to rest. And resting doesn't necessarily mean just taking the nap and all you do is sleep. Okay, resting can mean just relaxing, okay, or only doing the things on your plate that you're called to do right then and there, okay, or in a certain amount of time, and it could mean laying things down aside that you normally wouldn't. It could mean, maybe adding one thing but saying no to the other two. So you really have to be considerate. Okay, step back, put the things down, and really focus. What are these top one or two things that take precedence and priority, or maybe three, and work on one thing at a time. This is your homework assignment. Work on one thing. Choose one thing that you want to work on at a time right now. Complete that first thing, okay? If there's still time, go on to the second. Do not feel, and I give you permission to let that go, do not feel like you have to do everything now, that it has to be its best this minute, okay? Let that go. Throw that by the wayside Instead, focus on that one thing and focus on becoming the best possible at that one thing. And maybe right now that one thing is you resting. Maybe that is what is key and what you're supposed to do so that you can get downloads and strategies on so much more. Okay? Because you want to be able to move forward, but you have to learn how to rest in order to move forward. You have to rest in order to learn how to be entrusted with more. You have to rest in order to go to that next level. Okay? And so resting is going to be key, not just for success, but just being you and being the best you. You want to be the best version of you possible, because you're not replaceable. If you're burnt out, you're no good to anybody, not even yourself. So this is your opportunity to get that rest, to be able to really grow, to ultimately go to that next level. So decide what is important. If you have to cancel some things to take care of self and do something that you love, maybe you've worked so hard all week. Maybe the end goal of the week is going and doing something you love, and maybe it's not the end of your week. Maybe it's in the middle of the week to give you that rejuvenation so that you can push through the rest of that week. So maybe you go out and play a game of golf. Maybe you go out and get your nails done. Maybe you take a hot bath and read a book for an hour. Whatever that looks like, step back so that you can become more. Step back so that so much more can come out of you. You have so much more to offer than what maybe you're currently giving if you're burnt out. You can't be replaced. Ideas, strategies, the systems, those can all be duplicatable and replaced, but you cannot. You are worth value. You are worth relationship. You are worth relationship to anybody that you are having a relationship with. You are worth the self-love and the self-care. So give yourself some grace. If you have room for improvement, it's not a bad thing. You know what? That's good. It means that you're growing. It means that you're learning who you are. You're discovering yourself at a deeper, more personal level. You're getting in touch with what your body needs, and that is a really good thing. I hope that you've picked up something from this. I'm going to go ahead and leave my information in the comment section so that you can stay in touch with me. Feel free to comment or give feedback, or if you have questions, I completely embrace those, and I would love to stay connected with you. Until next time, have a great evening. Bye-bye for now.